Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Manticore here, and today we are going to be working on something that I haven't really done before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm pretty excited for it. So today we are going to build a greenhouse slash apiary. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, as you can see here, we've got this big old section of land, and I want to go ahead and convert this all into, not necessarily the greenhouse itself. For the greenhouse, I think we're going to go ahead and just start right down here, and let's go ahead and start building that up first. So now, for this, we are going to be using primarily glass. And since we do want a rounded roof, we're going to want to go ahead and make that just regular glass as opposed to glass panes, because those are a little bit harder to work with. So along with that, I think we'll also go ahead and do some brick, because, you know, why not? That kind of sounds like a neat build to me. Okay, so we've got those, we've got some... Oh, let's go ahead and grab some coarse dirt, because we don't want our flowers to be growing up in grass section. You'll see what I mean here as we get into it. But we'll go ahead and do that. And then we also want to go ahead and grab some beehives. Now, the beehives are the custom ones. So, I guess it depends on whether you're playing in survival or creative. But in this case, I want to go ahead and use just some regular bee nests. And I think that should be good to start with. So let's go ahead and get started. Now to begin, I want to go ahead and lay out a frame made out of this brick. But we aren't going to be bringing the frame up. We're just going to be laying out the rectangle for where we want the greenhouse itself to be. And let's see, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sure, let's go out one more, and you know what? I kind of want to make that an even 8. So we'll go ahead and destroy a few of those leaves and bring this all the way out. Now, this might be a little bit far under the tree, so let's go ahead and cut this off down to here. And we'll go ahead and call that good for the frame. Now, you know, I was originally thinking this would be big enough, but I think we'll go ahead and take this out one more. Because I think I want to make this a slightly more advanced style build, which basically just means that the frame is on the outside of the inner walls. So I think something like that should be good, and then we'll go ahead and lay in another layer of brick along this front side at least. And then let's see here. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and do that all the way around. So unfortunately this greenhouse is getting smaller by the minute, but we'll see what we can do. We might be able to extend it a little bit further. Maybe if we bring it out to here. And I guess we'll go ahead and do this as well, since it's not going to be built up right there. Okay, so we might have to get rid of a little bit of that tree, but we'll see how it goes. Now moving right along, we're going to go ahead and switch over to that glass, and we're going to just go ahead and start building up with this. So I'm thinking a little bit something like that, and then we'll bring that up 2 layers. Oops. Okay, so a little bit something like that, I'm thinking. And then I actually want to go ahead and bring this entrance up. And I want to make a little bit of an archway for where it goes in. So right about there should be good, and we'll go ahead and throw on some half slabs up top. That way we've got a nice little arch. Now, as for over here, I kind of want to try adding some stairs around these corners. And we'll just do it over here. Okay, so a little bit something like that. And you know, I think we need to bring up this level of glass one more high. And we won't put one in the entryway just yet. We'll go ahead and do something like this. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Now, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to do one more layer of straight glass. Now, this one we will cover the entryway with. And basically, this is just going to give us a very high arched greenhouse. So now we want to go ahead and start making the roof frame, but since it is all gonna be glass, it's doesn't have to be too fancy. Just a little bit something like this. And something like that I think should be good. Let's go ahead and get rid of these middle corners because I'm not a huge fan of those. Okay, now we'll go ahead and bring these all the way out. So this is just a very basic greenhouse style. It's not too complicated, just requires a lot of glass. Okay, and then we'll do something like that. And now I kind of want to do more than just glass because, well, it's looking a little off. So let's go ahead and what would it look like if we did that? Okay, so I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and get rid of the entire outer frame except for that archway. Because I think that full block just makes it too bulky. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. And then, if we have to do something, has 1.16 has added brick walls, so I'm gonna go ahead and play around with a few designs here, and I just want to see how this looks. So, what if we did something like that? I don't know that I'm a huge fan of it, but what if we did something like this? Okay, that's interesting. I kind of like that. From down here, when you're walking around, it kind of gives off a nice little frame. And what if we did that? Okay, so that's too blocky, but I do like that. So I think we'll go ahead and do something like it. Okay, so a little bit something like that. And then maybe we do some half slabs up across here. If you're in a survival world, it won't be as easy to notice how choppy this section is, but if you are flying around in creative, this might not be the best possible design. But you know, when you're running around on foot, I do really like the way it's turning out, so I think this should work out. Okay, so now we've gone ahead and done that. Oh, actually, you know what? We don't even need this on the side. I think just on the front and back should be enough. Okay, now we'll lay down those half slabs. And so that sort of gives it a little bit more of an arched frame, which I do like. Now, what if we did full blocks? Is that going to be too much? I think it's a little too much. So let's go ahead and just do half slabs directly across. And this is just going to make it look like it's a little more supported. So something like that. And you know, I'm kind of thinking we try doing it along there as well. But you know, it's looking awfully bricky. So what if... You know, I'm not too sure how I feel about it. What if we did some little points up there? How does that look? So it's not really noticeable from the ground, but I kind of like it. Okay, we'll go ahead and leave it like that for now, and then let's head in here and let's grab a shovel so we can lay down some path block. And so pretty much we want this to be the center section. So we'll go ahead and just do something like that for now. And let's add the campfires into the corners. This is going to have 4 bee nests in it, not to be confused with beehives. Okay, so a little bit something like that. And unfortunately, it looks like some of the smoke does still go through, so I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll leave it be like that for now. And then coming in here with our coarse dirt, we're going to go ahead and lay this down all around the sides. Let's do that. Okay. So as you can see, it hides the campfires with the exception of the smoke that's still coming through the bee nests. So that's not quite as ideal, but I guess what you could also do is you could go ahead and add a few more beehives. Those should still get it, I think. Maybe. So those actually stopped it completely. Now, I do kind of like that. I think what we'll go ahead and do is grab some trapdoors. And we might have to go into survival mode in order to test that out. Just to make sure that it does still work if you've got bees in there. Okay, so what if we do something like this? Oh, actually, I guess we needed that still. Okay. I don't know that I'm a huge fan of that. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Now, what if we just lower these completely one? Actually, if we did something like that, that could look kind of cool, because then the holes are on the opposite sides. Let's do it like that and like that. Okay, yeah, so I kind of like that. It's got multiple holes going through it. And we still have smoke coming through there, so I'm not sure. You might even be able to stack a third one on there, but it might start to look kind of funny if you've just got all these beehives. Oh, you know what we might be able to do, though? What if we actually do use beehives? If we do those in the center, and then we do one more up here. That way it kind of breaks up the little beehive design. Well, I guess it depends on how many beehives and nests you want, but that is one way to go about doing it. And why not? Let's go ahead and face these inwards as well. I wouldn't recommend using those. I kind of just put them on there to complete the stack. But, you know, I think it looks better without. And then, what if we do something... What if we did a row up along here? Now, this... Or, not right there, but... right through here. This might look kind of strange, but hang in with me. Okay, now we lay down the trapdoors. And if you want to go ahead and cover that up, what you might be able to do is... Now, you could either just cover up these windows using some kind of trapdoor. It doesn't have to be spruce, although that doesn't look too bad. You could also do dark oak. And, you know, I kind of want to give that a try. So if we're standing like way back here, this is kind of what we've got going so far. I kind of like it. I'm not totally sold on those trapdoors on the outside, but we'll move on for now. So coming back into here, let's go ahead and lay down. Oh, let's do... Can we lay... Okay, that would mess it up. Okay, so... Yeah, even that would mess it up. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Now, let's go ahead and replace these. And we'll do something like that. I'm thinking we do... I think I'll go ahead and stick with my normal design, which is actually going to be stairs. I'm just trying to decide what I want to make it out of, whether I want to do stone or wood. But let's give these stone bricks a try. Whoops. That makes it look a little tight in here. Let's do that for now. Now, the problem with the trapdoor idea, if we were to do that, is we'd run into the same problem with the corners. So that wouldn't really work. But you know, what if we just did... Whoops. Spruce in the corner. Whoa. This might look really weird. If we do something like that... And then we go around and do this. Okay, so that's something. Now, so we can sort of picture this a little bit better, let's go ahead and bring out some flowers. So, I don't know what we want to use. We can do some orchids and some alliums and some cornflowers and maybe some lily of the valley. Now, let's just go ahead and start spreading these around. Whoops, too many. Something like that. And you can use more flowers than this if you want to. I'm just using these four to try and stay within the cool color palette with a little bit of white here and there. Let's do purple right there. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. Basically, the idea is wherever you turn your head to, you want to be able to see one of every kind. Whoops. I shouldn't have gotten rid of that coarse dirt. Okay, and then guess we'll do a lily there. Alright, now this is sort of what we got going on so far here, and I want to put some up here as well. Whoops, didn't mean to get rid of the lily. Okay, so a little bit something like that, and it kind of gives it all the way around now. A little bit more color anyway. You know, I'm wondering, what if instead of the spruce right here, we do leaves? Ooh, that kind of looks nice. I kind of like that. Okay, so that's a little something. And then I think I want to go ahead and replace these pieces with some cobblestone. Just something that looks a little bit more cement-like. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Okay, let's go ahead and throw in some bees here. Not too many, but just a few. That should be good. And so we've got our little greenhouse now, and the bees can come out of there if they want to. If you want to breed them up, you could go ahead and throw in some doors right here and some trapdoors. And I don't know if they can get out through there, but if so, you could probably replace those blocks while you're breeding them. And just kind of close the place off until you're done breeding them all up. Now hopefully they go ahead and do their bee business and they bring in some honey to some of those upper bee nests, because I kind of want to make sure that we can actually use those and not get hurt in survival mode. Now we aren't done with this build yet though. That's right, we still got these trap doors that I'm not so sure about. I think if we do them, we kind of want to do them on this side as well. Otherwise it might look a little... it still looks a little strange, but it could work. Okay, let's go ahead and just lay these all the way across. If you aren't a big fan of this trapdoor design, they're pretty easy to go ahead and leave off, but they do give a little bit more depth to it, so I think we'll go ahead and keep it for now. And dark oak would look pretty good there as well if you wanted to give that a try. But we still have a little bit more to do with this. I also want to go ahead and build up the surrounding area. So now we're going to go ahead and grab a campfire and some fence, and where these two paths sort of meet and come out to here, I want to sort of make this a flower field. So we'll go ahead and build up a, oh gosh, what are these called? I kind of want to say trellis, but I could be totally wrong. Basically, it's like a little walk-through thingamajig. I'm pretty sure it's trellis, so I'm just gonna go with that. And so we've got this neat little thing that you can walk through, and you can use that little design as your entrance to manual crop gardens as well. It's just one of the ones that I didn't feature at the time. So now we've got this, and I kind of want this to be the start of a big old flower field. So let's go ahead and throw in a bunch of flowers. We'll get rid of everything in our hotbar and we'll just grab a bunch of these. Now we want to do some of the warmer colors that we didn't get to do yet inside of the thing over there. And let's see. Oh, let's do a few orchids as well, and then we'll grab some leaves. And right now these are all singles. We want to do more single hive flowers than doubles because those will sort of block our line of view. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and start throwing these in here randomly. And I think I might go ahead and sort of fast forward through this as we lay these all down. So I'll do that and I will be back with you guys. Okay, so this seemed like a pretty good spot to go ahead and bring you guys back in. So we don't have too much left to do, but I do want to add just a few more things. One of those things is I want to add a small tree over here in this corner. And then another thing too is I decided that I kind of want to go ahead and add a little bit of a pond over here. So that's kind of why I left this big section mostly blank. And let's go ahead and, oh, I actually want to find a few pressure plates. Whoops. And the reason that I want to use these is because they kind of look like stepping stones because they don't take up the entire block. Okay, so I think if we do something like that, it looks kind of good, kind of looks like some stepping stones. So you'd follow those down to here, and then I want to have a little bit of a pond area. Now we'll go ahead and get rid of these. And I decided to go ahead and use these roses to border the pond section to sort of give them their own unique little area. And I used the sunflowers over there because I wanted to be able to see the flowers themselves, and since they always point towards the sunrise, you can only see them from one side. So now I think this might be a little too big. But right now I'm just kind of sketching out an idea of the shape that I want this pond to be. So something like that. And I think we want to go ahead and fill this in here really quick. Alright folks, I apologize for that. Had a little bit of background noise, and I wanted to try and keep it as quiet for you as possible, so I went ahead and added in some other background items while we were waiting. Now, I want to try and make this feel sort of closed off and private without putting up actual fences, so I'm adding a bunch of bushes and tall flowers, rocks, everything around here to kind of make it seem like this has a border without actually giving it one. Now, getting back to the pond here, I think this is a pretty good shape, this sort of little kidney bean almost design. Now, we're going to go ahead and make it a little bit deeper. So generally for that, I just go one in and call that good. Now, I'm pretty sure it should go away on its own, this grass area, once we fill it all up. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll fill in the corners of the lower section, and that should give us a nice even little pond. Now I want to go ahead and add a little bench right over here in this corner, and I want to do one of the ones that has the little pillows on it. So if you don't know how those are made, pretty much you just make these little holes and you place a banner down. Right about there should be good. And then you can go ahead and place down these stairs on top of it, and it should look a little bit something like that. Now, unfortunately, those are turning out really dark. Let's go ahead and try just doing that. No? Wow, those are still really dark. Well, you know, I don't mind having little black pillows. I was trying to do light gray. I don't usually do white because, let's be honest, these are out in nature. They are not going to stay white for long unless they're brand new pillows. But anyways, yeah. So we'll just go ahead and leave that be. I'm not entirely sure why the lighting's showing up like that. Maybe because it's backed up against one? I kind of want to find out. So let me go ahead and see if that's the reason why. This is more for my own curiosity than anything. Let me go ahead and try doing something like that. And we'll grab those banners again. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Should be about right. Yeah, those are still winding up too dark. Interesting. Well, maybe I'm doing something wrong there. It's been a while since I've made them. But actually, yeah, I want to do them back up here against this wall. So we'll go ahead and leave them because, like I mentioned before, I don't really mind having the black pillows. It kind of goes with my general design, but we'll do... I think I want to do one with a back. So we'll go ahead and do it like that. And you can't really see them at that point, so I don't really think it's worth it. We'll just go ahead and do that. Oh, and actually, that one would be in the way if we were to do that, and so would that. So yeah, we'll just make ourselves a little bench like so. Okay, now I want to go ahead and come around to here and do one more bench. Now this one is going to be... You know, I wonder if we should do something a little bit different since we do have more room over here. I want to go ahead and continue these footstones further away. So something like that, I think. Pretty much I want to lead them down to this little bench. And then, let's see, does that look good? I think really quick, I want to go ahead and replace this inner area with just regular stone. Okay, something like that should be good. And now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and trace the outside of this pond with a brown block to make it look muddy, or some sand, or some stone, depending on what you want to go for. But I think in this case it looks okay as it is, with just sort of a regular old grass look to it. Now, really quick, I want to go ahead and do one more bench. I'm almost thinking a diagonal bench would work best right here, but we're a little more restricted on what we can do with that, so let's... I think we should be able to make it out of all half slabs. Let's see if we do that, and then we'll make it 4 wide. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and get rid of this top layer, and we'll have to dig ourselves down one. There we go. So something like that. Oh, maybe let's go one smaller. That looks a little too big. Alright, so something like that. We got ourselves a little diagonal bench. And let's add in a few more flowers and items back here. Okay, so now we've got ourselves a little flower field along with a greenhouse and apiary. It looks like the bees are in here doing their thing. And we do have a little bit of honey over here that we can harvest. So I'm going to give myself a glass bottle, because I think that's how you do this. That are shears. Oh, did I spell those wrong? Oh, yes I did. Okay, now let's switch our game modes here for a moment. Oh, you. There we go. Okay, now fingers crossed we don't get attacked. Oh no, they don't like us. Shoot, shoot. That does not work, folks. It does not work. Ah! We're just gonna keep running. Okay, now, game mode. Oh shoot, I think they got us. Oh, he got us. I'm sorry, Bee. I tried to save you. You wouldn't listen. Ah! Into the barn. Alright, so hopefully the rest shouldn't try to kill me here. Now, since those don't work, I think we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of them. And you know what we can do? Let's just extend our block over our little floating shelf. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just use that. Then we'll cover up the dirt and place in a few more of those flowers. Okay, we'll do that and that. And unfortunately, a little bit of smoke does still come through, but hopefully it isn't too noticeable. Oh, you're the one that's gonna die. I'm sorry, friend, I'm sorry. We had to do it for science. For science. Now, another thing that we could do is we could speckle in some leaves throughout up here. But, so if we were to just do something like that to kind of make it look a little overgrown. It's not a bad design. I kind of like it. Let's see, if we go out here, how does it look? Not too bad. Maybe if we add a few up here. So a little something like that. Yeah, you know, I kind of like that. So I think we'll go ahead and keep it. We'll just add a few back here. Make it look like an overgrown greenhouse. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's build. So, if you enjoyed our little greenhouse and flower field, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, hit the like just for that poor bee who's gonna die. Rest in peace, little buddy. You will be remembered for science. And if you want to see more builds like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. I don't know what the next video is going to be, but you know, it'll be something cool. So, without further ado, I will see you all next time, and thanks for watching. See ya!